Oh boy, here we go. SnapTap is officially cheating. Oh, it's cheating.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Valve has officially declared Razer's new keyboard cheating. Gone forever. Cologne wrapped up Monday night. Valve finally released an update clearly defining their stance on nullbinds, including Razer's SnapTap feature.
I wonder if they are going to include other companies that release keyboards with similar functions.
If you've been living under a rock, Razer recently announced an update for their Huntsman V3
They would have to.
keyboard called SnapTap. SnapTap is a feature that, quote, prioritizes the latest input between two selected keys without having to release the previous one. And in a game like CS2,
It just makes it so that whenever you, let's say you hold down D, the moment you touch A and are going down, it'll make you do that. It'll make you go left. That's all it does. It just does it a little earlier.
this would give you near perfect counter-strafing since it essentially overrides any error you can make yourself when moving left to right or vice versa. You see, in CS, you are only accurate with your weapon when standing still, but for a brief moment when changing directions while moving, your accuracy resets. The trick is that you only get a small window to let go of your previous key before hitting the new one to achieve this. It's been a fun...
And look at this. This grouping ain't perfect either. That grouping ain't perfect. If it was perfect, all I would see is a single square. But it ain't. And this is only from what? How many meters do you think this is? Like 20 meters, 25 meters? This is the grouping at 25 meters. You take multiple different ranges of engagement. If it's so perfect, why doesn't it have perfect grouping?
To achieve this. It's been a fundamental skill in the game for a long time, and Razer essentially wanted to put an end to that. But it doesn't really stop there. You see, Razer isn't...
And let me be clear. This is only cheating in Counter-Strike. No other FPS game is going to ban the Razer, the Wooting, any other keyboard with similar functions.
Isn't the only keyboard manufacturer to have internal or external features that attempt to do this very same thing. And there are even ways for players themselves to do this in-game with console commands called nullbinds. It's been a discussion for years, but this Razer announcement kicked off a massive debate about products and binds that essentially eliminate human error. Skills like counter...
Essentially, but not really essentially. Because you just saw with that example, even that grouping wasn't pixel perfect.
Counter-strafing take time and command a lot of respect. There is an ethical conversation to be had about assisted peripherals like this. How many steps removed is SnapTap or nullbinds away from a mouse that adjusts itself for recoil? Now, regardless of opinions, Razer's esport...
That was a real concern for us before pushing and greenlighting it internally. I made sure that tournament officials would allow this feature. It's a bit of a gray area, like how the jump throw bind was at the beginning of Counter-Strike Go. Happy to discuss about it with you. The jump throw bind. What, like somebody hit a button and it would like perfectly throw a grenade at like the peak of a jump? Oh boy.
Ambassador explained that they did their due diligence. They spoke to tournament organizers, and SnapTap got the green light from them. This was odd because many TOs don't allow user-created nullbinds that do this. Since it's pretty much the same thing as SnapTap, surely wouldn't both be banned? Well, that's exactly what NA Pro and streamer Cooper
Are nullbinds allowed in Faceit League matches, ECL, etc.?
thought, so he publicly asked a Faceit admin who confirmed that nullbinds are in fact prohibited, but said nothing about Razer's keyboard. This developed into players claiming that CS had essentially become pay to win. An invaluable skill can basically...
Oh, officially pay to win. I think it's a little bit more complex than that. Like, come on, man. It's not pay to win. Like, yeah, you get the keyboard, and oh wow, you can stop. You can easily stop on a dot. You still have to have that timing there in the first place. It's not. This is. I mean, yes, it does fall in the vein of pay to win, but calling it obviously pay to win is kind of hilarious to me.
Be bought for like $300. And that's pretty much where things ended. The debate continued online for some time, but
Dang, that's a better deal than like any like high tier skin that you can buy in some of these shooting games. For sure. What do you care about more? Getting skins or winning? Well, it'll only cost you $300. That seems like a better deal to me.
but it remained perfectly legal for you to use this in your competitive games. Even pros were allegedly using SnapTap at events. However, on August 14th, Gabe Follower tweeted a screenshot from Inside CS2's code that suggested they added a detection model for SnapTap. Then, on Monday this week, Valve dropped a blog post titled Sidestepping Skill.
Sidestepping skill? Oh gosh, let me see this. Counter-Strike is constantly evolving from art to maps to... Why would you leave... It's constantly evolving. Why would you open up with art? Nobody cares about the art evolving. To maps, inventive plays, and even player input. The CS community shapes the game. Scripting and automating player commands has always been contentious. But over the years, some forms of scripting, e.g. jump throws, have gained acceptance. Oh, so jump throw scripting has gained acceptance? So it either is or it isn't. So like there's like multiple things. So the whole jump throw bind, I didn't even realize this was a thing, to be honest. There is what is allowed by the tournament official, by the specific league tournament. And then that's one viewpoint, and then another viewpoint is what is considered cheating by the general population of Counter-Strike. There's the public opinion viewpoint, and then you have the developer viewpoint. Is this a good or a bad thing? Is this allowed? Is this not allowed? So you have three viewpoints: the dev, the tournament, and the public opinion. Which one matters more? As they enable plays that wouldn't otherwise be possible. In fact, jump throws became such an important part of the game that we've done the work to make them reliable without any special scripting or binds, i.e. by jumping and quickly throwing a grenade. Developing one's coordination and reaction time has always been key to mastering Counter-Strike. Yeah. Recently, some hardware features have blurred the line between manual input and automation. So, we've decided to draw a clear line on what is or isn't acceptable in Counter-Strike. Well, the whole SnapTap thing, I would ask, what is being automated? If your intention is to press a button one way, you start going that way. And then the moment you think about going the other way, you hit the other button. What's being automated there? You are still doing the inputs. The main thing is the huge gain you get within that like 1/10 of a second from your reticle being out here to a single pixel in your screen. Honestly, and I'm like an FPS bro, like I enjoy FPSs. I think this is a stupid core mechanic. The moment, but then again, I don't play CS. I think the second you move, your reticle balloons out to like something unbelievable and unplayable, and all your bullets just go everywhere, to not moving at all. to the first bullet going out and being pixel perfect, I think it's a stupid mechanic. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is a stupid appeal to realism, even if you want to do that argument, and it's a stupid gamification of a real life mechanic in order to make it seem realistic. It's stupid both ways you think about it, and it is only specific to Counter-Strike. I don't know if what do you call it? If Valorant has like a similar mechanic. I think one of the dudes that did a video said that like you don't gain as much as you do in CS or you don't gain as much in Valorant as you do in CS because of this mechanic. Oh man.
I see what you did there.
Oh wait, shit! I didn't even get done reading. Clear on was okay. We are no longer going to allow automation via scripting or hardware that circumvent these core skills. And moving forward, and initially exclusively on Valve official servers, players suspected of automating multiple layer actions from a single game input may be kicked from their match. Okay, so when they said hardware, they are essentially meaning any type of snap tap or SOCD. So it's like an umbrella thing that catches all the companies. Okay, fair wording. To prevent accidental infractions, in-game binds that include more than one movement and or attack actions will no longer work. E.g., null binds and jump throw binds. Oh shit. Cracking down on the jump throws. If you have a keyboard that includes an input automation feature, e.g. snap tap mode, be sure to disable the feature before you join a match in order to avoid any interruption to your matches. Well, so what? They're going to allow the keyboard that has snap tap on, but what are they going to do? Are they going to what do you call it? Just like look, it's like, okay, all that one guy or those two or three guys, or shit, maybe the entire team has like a Razer keyboard, but we have to look at each one to make sure snap tap is turned off. And oh boy, so this is like actually stupid. So you can easily just cheese the hardware and make it look like, oh, snap tap is turned off, but it's actually on. And you could just like hit like some other buttons to like toggle it on and off on your keyboard. That's stupid. Just ban the actual keyboard. Well, even if you ban the keyboard, I mean, shit, you could just easily crack open a keyboard frame from like one keyboard brand, and as long as it has about the same thing as like the same frame and like measuring as like another keyboard brand, you just swap out the frame. Oh god, this is why cheating is so enigmatic. It's hilarious. Be sure to just say, okay, yeah.
I see what you did there. Identifying the rise of hardware features.
Oh boy. Okay, release notes. Oh, and well, and they updated their little cheat engine to figure out whether or not your keyboard is using snap tap and shit. So, I mean, I guess that's good. Certain types of movement and shooting input automation, such as hardware assisted counter strafing, will now be detected on Valve official servers, resulting in a kick from the match. Input binds that include more than one of the following commands will now be ignored by default. Support can be re-enabled using the cheap protected whatever that is. Sprint reload. Jesus Christ. Oh God, what is this? This is so complicated. Jesus. No wonder every cheat, like anti-cheat, is trying to like get a good base on Counter-Strike first. Because the cheats, I think like FPS cheats are the most complicated and complex and well stealthed in Counter-Strike. That's actually crazy. Because if you can cheese the Counter-Strike servers with your cheat, you could probably cheat in like every other FPS game. Because most of the time, every other FPS game's anti-cheat is just complete utter dog shit. VACnet. Okay, whatever.
Blurred the line between manual input and automation. They announced that, with the accompanying update, automation features that circumvent core skills will no longer be allowed on Valve servers, and players will be instantly detected and kicked if using them. And that's exactly what happened.
Vamos lá, para lado, pro outro, para lado, pro outro, para lado, pro outro.
Oh, wait. So he had to do it like, what, 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times, then he got kicked? Okay, well then you learn the amount of times that it takes and then just do it less.
Já fui quicado por input
Kicked for input automation.
automation.
Everyone cheered. Personally, I feel like a lot of us were expecting Valve to eventually take action like this, but still, it was a welcome.
Valve has banned SnapTap. Biggest W in recent history. Huh. This is actually kind of crazy to think that Valve has worked this expediently on such a gray topic. I think this is a good thing.
Decision that finally came. Scrawny did point out on Twitter the humor in Valve being able to detect SnapTap but not blatant spin botters, which was my first thought, but hopefully with the new VAC 3.0 update, we're proved wrong. But yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, that's another good point he's bringing up. Oh, you're so quick to make an update to ban snap tapping. You still got motherfuckers in here spin botting and just rage hacking. Damn. That's kind of crazy.
Valve did something good. We desperately needed someone with authority to step in and just make a clear decision, which Valve did. Now there's no more debate and we can hop back on and rest easy knowing that nothing bad actually came out of this.
Yeah. So what? It's like, what is a worse scenario for Counter-Strike? Think about it like this. More people using SnapTap, or more people just buying Counter-Strike cheats and spin botting and rage hacking? What's the worst scenario? Oh boy, they cracked down on snap tapping and SOCD. And so since they realized that man hours were being put into trying to fix their anti-cheat with snap tap, probably there was like a couple weeks, maybe a month or two, where everyone's just like, yeah, get the fucking spin bots out there. They don't give a fuck about us. Yeah.
As some are reporting online, allegedly Valve's SnapTap detection model isn't perfect, and players are getting kicked for counter-strafing without nullbinds or SnapTap.
Oh.
Hab grad schlechte Phase, schreibe ich einfach.
Kicked for input automation. So what if you have like perfect like inputs and you've practiced this little like anti-strafe thing, and you're like a professional player with like tens of thousands of hours in the game? What if you're just like really good at counter strafing and you just do it? Does it kick you for that?
It's hard to verify exactly what's going on and if in these situations there is any automation going on, but my guess is if the detection model is flawed, maybe if people do manage to perfectly counter-strafe, Valve assumes it's with assistance and kicks you. Wouldn't be a Valve update without a potential game-breaking bug. They were this close.
That's
but,
funny.
Hey, it could be worse. Which it was.
Oh.
You see, in order for Valve to get rid of nullbinds, they needed to completely disable them from the game. And this resulted in...
We are no longer going to allow automation via scripting to prevent accidental infractions. In-game binds that include more than one movement and or attack actions will no longer work. No binds, jump throws. Okay.
Jump throw binds being removed as well. These binds allow for players to consistently jump and throw nades at the apex with one button. It's been a part of the game for ages, is now gone, and many people are pissed off. Elige was quite outspoken, saying that this was a quality of life feature that Valve themselves had acknowledged in the past.
So why was the jump throw bind acceptable, but snap tap is not? like if I'm thinking just out loud, like jump is like your space and then your grenade throw button. That's 2 button presses. Snap tap, still also 2 button presses. You have to strafe one way and then hit the other way for the strafe. With jump throw bind, you are hitting 1 button. So why is jump throw acceptable by the community, but snap tap is not? That is my question. I am really confused.
And at the very worst, they need to add a jump throw bind to the game's options. The argument
Add a jump throw bind to the game's options. Wait, let me read this. Are you kidding? Removing jump binds, man. Removing snap tap, sure, that functionality, whatever. But removing a quality of life that you even had in the game when CS2 was in beta was so lame. You guys said it yourself. You added the functionality in the game intentionally. Add a bind. Recently, more hardware features had blurred the line between manual input and automation, so we decided to draw a clear line on, like, my question to the CS bros, like, why is a jump bind or a jump throw bind acceptable and snap tap is not acceptable? One is automating a thing. The other one, you still have to put the input in to hit to get the little like reticle like close and like pinpoint pixel precision, which it wasn't. You know, it's still a skill. You can still mistime it. That I am just so confused on this one.
bind to the game's options. The argument for many is that jump throwing on your own just isn't consistent, which is a
jump throw by yourself isn't consistent and is a skill to throw the thing at the apex of the jump. Okay.
game problem, and that ends up breaking a lot
It's a game problem. How's it a game problem?
of strats. However, on the other side, you have outspoken players who claim that people just need to get good at the game and not rely on binds for anything. So now all this snap tap bullshit has completely turned into a different argument thanks to
Bro, that's like every golfer like shooting of like attempting to shoot a hole in one and them complaining the hole isn't where their ball is. I should have got a hole in one on that shot. It's the course's fault that the hole wasn't where my ball was. All right, that's the issue. It's the course's fault. It's not my fault. Like, what?
to Valve dropping a single fucking update. That frustration aside, the seemingly separate debates around snap tap and jump throws can actually be viewed as one and the same.
Okay.
It's just a question about automation and assistance in our games. Do some provide more of an unfair advantage than others? Absolutely. But maybe it's best to draw a hard line against any assistive features rather than opening up the floodgates that can lead to these unforeseen consequences.
Yeah, sure. Just ban it all. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, at the very least, it would be more entertaining from an audience perspective. The reason all like the pros are complaining about the jump throws is probably because with the jump throw bind, it adds a layer of consistency to the game. Professionals that play games love consistency. They do not like randomness. The audience loves randomness and does not like consistency. Consistency is boring. It's bad entertainment value. Okay? So if Valve understands this, I think it would be just simply more entertaining to watch. You know, people like fucking up their damn jump throws. Go practice some jump throws. Go jump throw that angle for like an hour and go practice it. Go get better at it.
In the future. I personally don't use jump throws because everything I do is perfect, but what do you think? Should they be allowed? Should snap tap be allowed? There are some who allege that it doesn't actually provide enough of an advantage to create this much controversy.
Yeah.
So, where should Valve draw the line?
Valve should either ban it all or allow it all. Do not make this like one or the other type of argument, because that is stupid. Just either allow it all or ban it all. That's my 2 cents.
It was funny seeing Rob's Vindicated, because he was like, when they first announced SnapTap, he was the first one that was like, oh, this shit's really cool, but it's cheating. And this cannot be allowed. And then finally after that, like, you know, he was outspoken other times being like, yeah, no, don't use this, it's cheating, blah, 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 it's unfair.
Huh. I didn't know. I don't know who Rob is, but I mean, good on Valve for like trying to like put a cork in this like really early. You know, anytime there's like some sort of like contention with cheats or anti-cheat, or it's like a questionable piece of hardware or something, making a decision quicker is always going to be better than not making a decision. But I mean, if they banned jump throws and banned snap tap, fine. It don't matter to me. And I think it's going to be there's going to be more entertaining matches. That's what I think. But cool video. This only matters for Counter-Strike. No other FPS game gives a shit about snap tap or SOCD. But other than that, good video. Love to see it. Keep them coming. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.